Welcome back to the Gloss Garage, where we make detailing simple. My name is Sak, and today I have something special for you guys. I know I look tired because I am. I was just doing the final touches on a ceramic coating job that we did. So that's what we're going to talk about. So I installed a professional grade, just the first layer only. That's the one that the customer wanted. Just the base coat, which the durability of that professional grade coating is 5 years. And the coating that I always talked about on my last video was raw coatings. We put the base coat, durability is 5 years. You can see it's already crystallized and it's going to get harder than this. Right now it's kind of like jelly, but give it another 5-6 hours and it's definitely going to be hard as glass. But yes, so this customer just bought a brand new 2023 Acura Integra in this nice metallic blue. And again, it's a brand new car. I'm going to be playing the videos and you will see that this car is actually in immaculate condition, right? When I put on the light and put it on an angle, that you see minimal marring, minimal scratches, all this type of stuff that's already on the vehicle. In some areas they have deeper scratches, which in the future I will let you guys know that we did use a compound and a polish, even though the customer only requested for a polish. But again, this is me as a detailer trying to give the best possible results, right? Because again, we are sealing those scratches. It wasn't like the whole vehicle had deep scratches. It was just like the trunk, a bit of bird etchings on the roof that we use a compound and then we polish that out. And certain areas on the vehicle, right? This is something that I have to stress out because yes, sometimes as detailers, you're like, well, time is money if the customer is not paying for a compound and polish. We're not compounding and polishing the whole vehicle, right? All I used was Uno Pure on 90% of the car, and the 10% where they had deeper scratches, I used the Last Cut and Optimum Hyper Polish to help remove about 85% of those deep scratches and make it look brand new and literally perfect, right? And the customer, I told the customer, let's not go for paint perfection, right? Because if we try to remove these deep scratches or any deep scratches that you have, what happens is that in the future, when you do get some other swirls or scratches, or you do have a scratch in that area, you want to compound and polish, you're not going to have a bunch of clear coat. And knowing the way the vehicles are made today, there's not that much clear coat, right? Point blank period. They're just being cheaper and cheaper with the paint. So yes, so he went for the professional grade raw ceramic coating, and we started off with the wash. We used the Glassparency S1 heavy duty soap. The dealership did look like they used a bit of a wax or maybe a sealant on it of some sort. And we did wash the vehicle twice. So we did use the S1 soap. You guys see in the pump sprayer that I do have some power clean in there, diluted 3-to-1. And I use it as a foamer. I pre-rinse the vehicle and I foamed up 90% of the car, try to get that traffic film, trying to get all that stuff out, right? And obviously before this, I'm going to be playing the clip probably later on the wheels. I did clean the wheels. There's not much to do, right? All I did was one pass. That's about it. And that the wheels are pretty much perfect. This car only has less than 100 miles on the car. So yeah, so I put power clean, the degreaser on it, diluted 3-to-1, let it dwell for about a minute or two, then I rinse it off, and then I moved into my agitation wash with the S1 Glassparency soap. We did have to wash this vehicle twice. The first time, again, it only removes old silicas and waxes, right? This is something that I have to stress out, right? It looks like the dealership put a fresh new wax, so we did have to wash the vehicle twice. And technically, it actually feels like 3 times because we did use the iron remover. So we washed it with the S1 soap. And then from there, we did the iron remover with the clay towel. The car is fairly smooth, but when I did put some of that iron remover on, there was some purple. I tried to grab it on camera, but in reality, it's so hard to see on this blue paint, especially in the shade. It was hard to pick it up on camera, but it was there. There was some iron fallout that was coming up, probably from either when it was sitting on the lot before it came over inside, to the dealership or probably during transit, who knows, but there was some iron particles there. We clayed it. Overall, the car was fairly smooth, right? After we clayed it, we rinsed down the vehicle again, and then we used the S1 soap again for the second wash. And then you will see here that now there's like no more sheeting, right? Like the sheeting and the little bit of beading that it was giving, the repellency, it's gone, right? Like it's now almost completely flat, and I am positive that once we do any type of polishing on that vehicle, that it will abrade the rest of that wax, or it's so minimal that it's not even durable at this point. So I backed up the car, dried it up, and then from there what we did was start the polishing process, right? So with the polishing process, we used the Rupes Uno Pure, and then that's it. That's all we needed. Again, Acura's Japanese paint, it's usually harder than regular Japanese clear coat. But the Rupes Pure, the Uno Pure, did take out those light minor imperfections, right? This car did have some minor scratches, some deep scratches, but again, 90% of it was taken care of with Pure. We're not going for paint perfection. And then the other ones we took care with a compound polish to give it that whole even finish, right, on the whole vehicle, to the point where it's not even noticeable. Nobody's going to walk up with a flashlight to your car and say, wow, what is this deep scratch and a 45-degree angle? It's not going to happen in no way, shape, or form. So we did that, and it did have some bird etchings on the roof, especially on the roof. It had a lot of bird etchings. And from there, we did have to polish that out with the Rupes Nano. That's what we did. And then we just followed up with a whole polish to give it that even finish, because again, we did use the last cut and then Optimum Hyper Polish to refine that finish, right? This is something I need to stress out a lot. Ceramic coatings are not bulletproof, right? They're not scratch resistant. People think scratch resistance is rock chips or getting keyed. No. Scratch resistance in terms of ceramic coatings on your vehicle is help prevent wash marring, right? If you got lubricity and your car is nice and lubricated when you're washing, it helps prevent those wash love marks, right? At a degree, right? You do have to be negligent. You do have to know how much dirt it is. I do have a video how to take care of your ceramic coatings with the rinseless wash and how you can do it in less than 30 minutes. And how to achieve virtually a scratch-free finish, right? Because you're always touching the car. I wash my car sometimes twice or 3 times a week, or maybe 3 times a month, right? Once a week, but I touch my vehicle constantly, and you will get some marring over time, right? But it's so minuscule that if you do these steps that I told you, after 5 years, it's gonna look as if you never even damaged your car. It just looks like regular love marks, or it's not even deep. So anyways, besides the point. So after this, we polished the car, like I said, the whole time, a Rupes Uno Pure, and we went all the way around the whole vehicle. Once we did the vehicle and took care of some of the etchings, as you guys saw in the video, we did take care of some of the etchings. In some areas, we did use compound and a polish, but unfortunately, my camera died there. I went to go charge it for a bit, so then later we could go ahead and focus on everything else. So once we polished the whole vehicle, even polished the glass and everything, right? This was not needed, especially because 90% of the car we did use Uno Pure. It's super humid out, and once you wipe off the Uno Pure or whatever, the solvent from that polish will air itself out, and then from there you could polish right over it. There's no, but again, the other 10% we did use a compound and hyper polish. So what we did, we just used a press spray, get any extra residual leftover polish that was left over, right? And it's super humid outside. We polished the glass. We cleaned the glass like 3 times with an alcoholic glass cleaner. Then we used alcohol afterwards. So we pretty much prepped it full force, right? He wanted the windshield coated as well. And we used the press spray around the whole vehicle. And then we started to apply the roar coating. So as you guys see, I do have 2 separate pads, even though I used 3 for that entire vehicle, because again, the coating does get super hard. And let me show you guys here real quick before we get started. This is one of the pads that we used. And look at it. It's already crystallizing. It starts crystallizing on the spot when you're applying that ceramic coating. And like I said, this is the difference between a prosumer and a professional grade coating. These professional grade coatings harden fast. They're much more concentrated. They're a lot more durable. They give a deeper wet shine to the car that you cannot believe that you're going to see right after this vehicle. It looks like you added an extra layer of clear coat onto the car. But yes, I use multiple. In reality, I use 3 on the video. I know you see 2, but I did move on to 3 because again, it was super humid and these solvents were evaporating super fast, and it was actually hardening super fast, right? Humidity plays a deep role, right? Although I do have a garage, I do not have like an AC humidifier type of thing to say, all right, 60% humidity or whatever the thing is. So New York is really hot right now, and humidity plays a big part, especially with professional grade coatings. You do have to know how to work with these types of coatings. If not, you will not have fun, and it will be a drag to be applying these type of coatings. But anyways, while applying the coating, and this is why I love this ceramic coating, because you can apply it in the heat, in the cold, perfect conditions, it doesn't matter, right? Certain coatings you have to have a perfect type of environment with IR curing lamps and all this other type of stuff, right? This is not needed. This is why I love this type of ceramic coating, and for me, it's the best professional grade for me. But yeah, so we applied it, and as you can see, while I'm applying it, I do start a bigger section first, and then I did realize it started drying up fast. It evaporated fast. You don't get the full rainbow effect. It's kind of like a rainbow effect, but then it also turns kind of clear, so you start buffing it off, or not buffing it off, but leveling off the coating. You don't want to buff off the coating. You want to level it off. You level it off. I have 2 different types of towels. I have the Pearl towel from the Rag Company. One green, one gray. One is my initial buff. The second is my second wipe. So once I'm done applying, like I said, you buff it off, and it leaves a slick finish on the paint. But when you see on the first part of the video, it was drying up super fast. The solvents were evaporating super fast. So what I did was I applied more coating on top of it, more of the base coat, and then I started working in smaller sections, as you guys can see once I move on to the side fender, the front fender right there. I applied it in that section, and I started just doing panel by panel. Depending on the humidity and heat, sometimes when it's super cold, I could do 2 panels at once because the humidity is not there and it's not going to dry up as fast. So there's pros and cons of working whether in the heat, snow, or perfect conditions, right? It just depends on how the coating evaporates and how you know you're coating. So from there, I applied in small sections, and you'll see that I start wiping it pretty much right away. 30 seconds. Start wiping, and as the night started getting moving on, it started getting more humid, and the solvent started evaporating quicker. So I was doing 1 section at a time, half a section at a time, half a panel, but it will be apply, wait 10-20 seconds, and remove, right? Some areas I did not catch it on video because it was a bit frustrating. Some areas I did leave it a bit too long, and it left the high spot. Then I had to use Uno Pure again, level it off a bit, apply more, and then move on with the rest of the vehicle, right? Again, this is why you need to know ceramic coatings, especially if this pro coating cures. It will be tedious, and you will need at least a compound minimum to remove these type of coatings. If not, you do need to use at least 3000 grit sandpaper to remove it, right? That's how dense these coatings are. So I just move around the whole vehicle. And what I love about this coating is you could use this on glass. So on paint, it's 5 years, but on glass, it doesn't matter if you use the base coat and the hardener. It's only gonna give you, it says up to 3 years. But if you use the wiper blades, I like to give it a 2-year warranty on that, right? So as you can see, once I'm doing the sunroof on the car, when I apply the coating, I'm immediately just buffing it off, right? Especially on the roof, it was already getting like super humid. I guess obviously heat rises and I'm in a garage, and the higher it is, the more humidity it is. So I started buffing off the roof pretty much right away. 5-10 seconds, I apply it, boom, ready to start buffing off, level off the coating. Even on the glass was even less because it's less porous. You do not need to wait so long because you will have a tough time on glass. And you know, I coated everything. Once I coated the whole vehicle, from there you could just see on how deep and wet the car looks. And it's nighttime. I just applied this coating. Give it about another 10 to 14 days and the shine and gloss will be a lot deeper and richer and shinier, right? Because again, now once it cures from the inside out. It starts evaporating from the bottom, right? And this is why I love this ceramic coating, because it's only a 2-hour cure time. So once I finished the whole vehicle, it took me about 2 hours because, like I said, like 2 areas I did let it sit there for too long, and I did have to polish, which infuriated me. But again, this is why we are detailers and we know what to look for. We have the right lighting. And yes, but besides the point, this is why I love this coating, because it's a 2-hour cure time, meaning it could get wet after 2 hours. And with this humidity, I do not need any IR cure lamps or anything. With the way how humid it is and how quick it is, it will cure, in my opinion and my expertise, within like 7 days, period. Right? Just on how humid it is and how quick the solvents was evaporating and bonding with the clear coat within 10 seconds instead of usually in the winter 1 minute, 2 minutes. You're just accelerating the curing process tenfold, right? But yes, it's cured. Look at the deep wet shine that it leaves, and the customer could come pick it up literally the next day. But what I like to do is I like to complete the job, give it a little bit, because he does not have a indoor garage. It can get wet, like I said, but I just don't like it to get wet. Especially, I want the customer to enjoy the vehicle, right? So it's gonna rain today, unfortunately. It's gonna rain tonight, and then the next 5 days it's gonna be nice and sunny. So I do have to message him and say, hey, can you come tomorrow, pick it up? You do not have an indoor garage. I want you to enjoy your ceramic coated vehicle. I don't want you to come pick it up at 6:30. 9 o'clock it starts raining, and now you have a dirty vehicle to drive tomorrow, or it just looks dusty or whatever. And that's just not what I like to do. If he wants to take it, that's up to him. But yes, once I've done the whole vehicle, I know you see at night that it's the windows don't look clean, but that's okay. I took care of it literally just now, and I did coat the inside door jambs as well, because I was too tired to complete it last night. So, and the door jambs I'm not too worried about, because they will last forever, right? They don't see the heat, they don't see the sun, it's good. So yes, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be putting all the products below in the description so you guys can see it. Look at this transformation, and then we'll do a wash on this car in 2 weeks. All my customers that get a prosumer or professional grade ceramic coating, when I do install them, I do offer a free wash 2 weeks after, or after its curing time, so that way I can see if I missed any spots, if there's anything that needs to be reapplied. So with this ceramic coating, you know, I do leave extra in a vial, and I always have a lot extra. So this way, when he comes back in 2 weeks for a free wash, we'll be doing a free wash on this vehicle in 2 weeks, so you guys can see how glossy, how deep and rich it actually looks after it's fully cured. And if any areas I missed, I reapply a couple of this ceramic coating on the vehicle, and that way I know it's 110% fully protected, and peace of mind to my customer that I'm giving them the best results. And after that, in the vehicle, I do give them a coating care kit, which I have here, and it just goes on ceramic coating maintenance. That's what I like to give my customers. And with this, they can see what products I like to use, what products I recommend, and that way you're able to take care of your vehicle by yourself, and you guys can come here for your routine maintenance. The maintenance depends on how you keep the vehicle. Unfortunately for him, he keeps it outside, so I will probably do it either every 2 months, 3 months. That way I can ensure that the coating is protected, because again, if it had a bunch of bird poop etchings already, it's gonna give me a bit of problems if we leave those etchings for way longer than needed. And I do have to stress that to the customer when it comes pick up this vehicle, that whenever he see bird poop, try to get it off as soon as possible, because especially in summer months, it's going to heat up on the paint and it's going to cook a lot. It's going to bake in. So that's just the way it is. With a ceramic coating, it's not bulletproof. It's something that still needs to be maintained. It just takes longer for it to degrade, and helps prevent the way the coating degrades over time, right? So yes, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, like this video, find it informative. And other than that, guys, I'm out. Peace. I'll be playing some after videos, some after shots, and I'll see you guys on the next one.